Morning, everybody. We are live.
Good morning, everyone. How are you?
Monique has a beautiful postcard. From which city is that, Monique?
So this is from Valencia, which is a really lovely city in Spain. It's in the region is called Valencia. It's just south of Barcelona, so south of Catalonia. And there's a really cool arts and science center that was designed by the architect Calatrava. And Calatrava is actually from Valencia, so it's cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and
I've never been to Valencia yet.
it's a beautiful city. I've been there 3 times now in a row to teach. Actually, there's a university there. It's a really, really cool spot. So I
I can
usually
imagine it looks beautiful. I've seen so many pictures, but I haven't traveled to Spain.
Oh, really? Not at all. How interesting. Wow.
I
nice
know what I'm
place.
looking forward to.
And I have never traveled to South Africa, unfortunately. I have thought about it. I have thought about it, especially because I'm interested in Shaka Zulu and Durban. Hi, Cinzia. So nice to see you. It's as if we're at Mille again. Cinzia, big heart for you like this. So nice to see you, Cinzia.
Thank you for joining us so early in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's nice to see you. So welcome, everyone. This is a webinar. As you know, we're doing these daily webinars here with Mayas. It's a focus 8 to 10, getting around. Hello, Sole. Nice to see you. We're very happy to have you here, and we want to invite you all to write and share, and don't be shy, because we like this to be participatory. So the more you write, the more we speak, the more we share, and the more we grow and enjoy our time being alive on this beautiful planet. So
Exactly. So I've put in the comment section, I'm actually going to put the question up. What is your name? Where are you from? And how are you getting on?
what is to get on? What a beautiful phrasal verb.
How would you like to try and explain to them what is to get on?
Yes. So as we know in English, to get means everything. To get is one of the most commonly used verbs in the English language. And now as a phrasal verb. So to get could be to get a present, to get over. So there's a million phrasal verbs using get. This one in particular is to get on. Meaning that question really is, how are you doing? How are things going? How are you getting on would be also adapting to a situation. How are you dealing with a situation? Right? So if I say, Joanna, where are you from and how are you getting on? I'm asking, we understand that there's a very particular situation that we're living right now. So that's when you would use that, right? So maybe if there's a funeral and we see each other at the funeral, I would say to Joanna, I'm so sorry, how are you getting on? Usually it's with more difficult situations. You ask someone, how are you dealing with it? So Joanna, where are you from and how are you getting on?
So I am Joanna and I am from Cape Town, South Africa. But currently I am in Bologna, or just outside in the countryside of Bologna. And how am I getting on? Surprisingly, really, really well. I thought that I'd feel a lot different about the situation, but I am feeling very optimistic. I am feeling hopeful. Yeah, so I'm doing all right. Sometimes every now and then I'm bored. I think that's normal when you're inside all day.
What do you do when you're bored?
I sleep.
Oh, that's nice though. That's really healthy.
No, not when you sleep so much. I've been reading a lot. I took Monique's advice from last week. I've been stretching. I've been doing something to keep active.
Stretching is so good. We invite you all at home too. Sole, Cinzia, if you want to do some stretches, that's always really healthy. In fact, Cinzia's message, I'm putting on 1 kilo. Okay, yeah, exactly. Okay, it's hard, right? I mean, we have 4 walls.
And 4 walls and a fridge full of food.
But I wonder, Cinzia, are you putting on 1 kilo or have you put on 1 kilo? Or is this like a goal? You want to put on 1 kilo? It's hard, yeah. I mean, it's tough, not because we have more time to cook too, right?
Too much time to cook, yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
But funny enough, I haven't put on any weight.
Really? Interesting.
No.
Have you been
Like,
cooking?
vegetables.
Oh, you eat a lot of vegetables?
I love vegetables. We have another person. He says,
Yes.
Antonio. Good morning. Good morning, Antonio.
Welcome. Nice to see you. We're asking everyone, how are you getting on? So where are you and how are you getting on? Sole, would you like to read Sole's, Joanna?
Sole says, I'm 22. I'm from Calabria and I'm feeling bored, but I'm okay. I understand you, but the good thing is that you're okay.
That's exactly right. The good thing is that you're okay. Yeah. So
What about you, Monique?
very good question. So I'm Monique from Los Angeles, California. I live in Bologna as well. Both Joanna and I teach at Bologna Mille. How am I getting on? As you mentioned, Joanna, I'm also getting on quite well. I mean, I think, it's true that we need to stay at home. So I don't love authority and I don't like being told what to do. At the same time, though, I feel very grateful and very fortunate to be safe, to be healthy, because I think it's really difficult for medical professionals right now in hospitals and for people that have pre-existing medical conditions. I think it's very, very difficult. So I feel very grateful and fortunate. And yeah, I mean, I cooked my first quiche this weekend, which I'm very excited about.
Would you like to explain to them what a quiche is?
Quiche is like it's sort of a French thing, a pastry where you have on the outside dough and on the inside usually vegetables, potatoes, things like that. Very tasty.
Vegetables did you put in?
I put in broccoli, fennel, onions, and then I put potatoes on top, like sliced potatoes like this. Yeah. And then I put grated carrots on the top.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was nice. It took me a while to make it, but it was very satisfying. And then
a lot left over.
What's that?
You have a lot left over.
No, I have one piece left over for my roommate, but then that's it. Because that's what I had yesterday. Like I didn't have other stuff, so except for breakfast. Fennel, exactly, Sole. But it's written with an E, so it's F-E-N-N-L-E. Yes, exactly, with a heart. Thank you, Sole. I appreciate it, with the heart.
Yes, both Monique and I are lovers of fennel. We are crazy for fennel.
Exactly. But regarding Cinzia's comments of putting on weight, I would be putting on weight, but I'm actually doing more exercise than I've ever done because I do 1 hour of total body and 1 hour of yoga every day. So I'm doing 2 hours of exercise and I actually feel, I can really sense, I feel my body, like I feel healthy, Also, I'm using a lot of ginger, which I also recommend for everyone.
Yeah.
Fennel and ginger are very good at this time.
Yeah.
So here, I'm going to show my little heart here. Fennel and ginger. Both very good for this period, this unique time we're living in. Let's see Soleil's comment.
I hope someday to find someone who loves me like Monique loves fennel.
Fantastic. We do too. Sole, we wish you all the best. That's adorable. Fantastic.
That was very cute.
Yes. Remember, without the article, without the fennel, because the fennel would be one.
Yeah.
But I love all fennel. I don't discriminate fennels. I love all.
I don't think we really can.
No.
We have Antonio. Antonio says good morning, and he says he feels blue. So we understand you, Antonio, and we hope that us being with you in the webinar is somehow making you feel much better. So my hope for you is that you have a really great, positive day without feeling blue.
Exactly. But we definitely understand you because it's a trying time, right? It's a bit of a difficult time, but we're all fortunate to be able to be here today to share this time in the webinar and such.
Monique, you didn't tell them where you come from.
I am from Hollywood.
Hollywood.
Hollywood. Da, 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 da.
The name what? The name in lights or something?
Exactly. Yeah, because there's huge letters, right? The Hollywood sign is in the Hollywood Hills. So if you're in Hollywood, you look up there's some really cool parts of LA where you're driving, you see this view of the hills and of the Hollywood sign. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
I can imagine. So you want to go to South Africa, and I'd definitely like to go to Los Angeles.
Yes, I want to go to Cape Town.
You do?
Of course.
Okay, we can switch.
Okay, that sounds good. You go visit my mom and I'll go visit your mom.
Perfect. I think my mom will really enjoy you.
Okay, nice. And likewise, mine will really enjoy you. So perfect.
Thank you.
See, Cinzia is saying, I eat ginger raw every morning with jam. Wow, great. This is very good for our immune systems, right? So yeah, I put ginger in the quiche as well. I forgot to say that.
Okay. I should make that. I was really considering making a quiche this weekend, but then I realized that my dough was expired.
Oh, yeah. Expired, not good. Yeah.
So there was like this strong smell of yeast, but expired by like 3 days. And I was like, I'm not going to risk it.
That's a good call. We do not want to risk things now. Yeah.
No.
This was the first quiche I had ever made, too. Good morning, Lisa. So nice to see you. She's giving us a sunshine as well. Very nice to see you. Lisa is our fantastic DOS in Bologna Mille here, and it's very nice to see her. Also, Antonio is saying, but I feel better now that I see you. Nice.
We're happy that we can make you feel like that, and we are also happy to have you guys commenting and interacting with us.
Yes, we feel better that we are reading you, so thank you. Remember to keep writing and asking any questions. Cinzia says hi to Lisa, and Lisa says hi to Cinzia, and we all send love to Cinzia, Lisa, everyone at home. Antonio has a question here, a very good question. So get on is a phrasal verb, right? And as we know, get is a very common word in English. We use it all the time. And there are millions of phrasal verbs. Get on specifically means, how are you dealing with a situation? How are you handling a situation? How are you doing in a situation? Usually when there's a bit of a difficult situation. So the example I mentioned before, if there's a funeral perhaps, then I might say and I see Joanna there, right? I say, Joanna, how are you getting on? Means, how are you doing, right? How are you getting on with a specific situation? So
how are you coping? So you have this difficult, trying situation. What are you doing, or how do you feel in order to get past the situation, to not remain in it?
So to get on with this situation, for example, I'm cooking and I'm experimenting in the kitchen. So I made stuffed cabbage last week.
Yeah.
Delicious. I made a torta salata, which is like an Italian quiche.
Yeah.
And Joanna, can you think of other ways you're coping or getting on?
Other than sleeping. So I'm also attempting to cook. The problem is I don't know how. So there's a lot of frustration with that. I'm cleaning my house a lot.
That's good. That's good. I also cleaned my house yesterday.
And this weekend that just passed, because today is a bit of a gray day in terms of the weather. But I was just looking outside of my window. Yeah. This weekend was quite sunny, nice and warm. So I took a chair and I went to go sit on the balcony and I read.
That's so nice. That's nice to have a balcony.
Vitamin D, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Sole says, Joanna, I feel you. Exactly.
Well, the fact that I sleep or the fact that I can't cook?
I actually, for the last 2 nights, I had lovely dreams. And I think it's because I spoke with my best friend in Los Angeles on Saturday evening. And then I dreamt about her I had a dream about her. And then last night as well, I dreamt about someone because I'm speaking, I imagine you too, probably all of us were like, wait, there's a little more time also to speak with friends on the phone, to catch up, right? Antonio, thanks God I'm improving my English. Excellent.
We're happy to help. So listen, both of them. But do you think we should perhaps get started?
Yeah, good idea. Let's dive in.
So here it is.
Mm-hmm.
So focus activity 8 to 10, getting around.
Not
So-
to be confused with getting on, right? Getting
Yeah.
around, getting on, different phrasal verbs. As we know, phrasal verb plus preposition. And depending on what preposition it is, it changes the meaning entirely.
I'm busy writing to get around, to move from place.
You can think of the Beach Boys also. Round, round, get around, I get around, ooh, I get around, round, 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 out of town. You all know the Beach Boys?
I
Band
do,
from
but I didn't know that
California.
the lyrics were like that. I had different lyrics in my head.
Yeah. So the Beach Boys, a classic band from California, 1960s. Brian Wilson, surf band, right? This was like the birth of surf guitar, surf music. Yeah. I was thinking the other day, I would love to go surfing again. I went for 2 summers in a row with a friend of mine in LA, and I would love to go again. This was like 20 years ago, though. Have you ever been surfing?
I'm afraid of sharks, so
right.
I don't necessarily want to go in the water. But it's not out of like consideration. If you take me to a place maybe where there are less sharks, definitely I will.
So when you go to Los Angeles and stay with my mom, you can go surfing.
Okay, deal.
Okay, cool.
Oh, Mama, I'm coming.
Exactly. Okay, just give me a minute, Mom. Joanna from South Africa will be coming soon.
Thank you. All right. So yes, guys, if you're watching at the moment or if you're going to tune in a little bit later, please comment your name, where you're from, and how are you getting on. Consider getting on means how are you doing in this situation we are in at the moment. Please leave a comment in the comment section. We'd really love to interact with you.
Antonio is saying, these days you mustn't get around in the city because of the coronavirus. Very true. Yeah. Good usage of mustn't too. You mustn't. Good.
Awesome. So let's get started with our wonderful focus.
Yes.
Would you like to read the objectives?
I would love to. Getting around in this focus activity, asking for and giving directions, and practicing phrasal verbs and semimodals.
I like how you said it's semimodals.
Do you say semi?
Semimodals, yeah.
So whatever you prefer out there, both are correct. Semimodals, semimodals.
Yes, it is. All right. So we have some questions. Let's read it one by one.
Yes, and as we read it, you can already feel free to think about answering it, right? So
yes. And of course, we would like you to interact and comment and answer the questions.
Yes, exactly. So the DOS from Milano Meravigli, which we say hello to, we also want to know how are you getting on?
Jordi. Hello.
Yes, we want to know how you are getting on. And they're asking, how do I get to Bologna from Milan? So let's open that question if anyone wants to answer. How do I get from Bologna to Bologna from Milan? This is an excellent question.
I've never been to Milan. I'm just going to say take a train.
Well, but I think right now you can't take the train. So maybe to get to Bologna from Milan, you could consider telepathy. I think the best way would be to close your eyes, start to meditate, and imagine that you're getting from Milan to Bologna. Start imagining 2 big towers and tortellini, and then it's as if you are traveling to Milan. That would be my suggestion.
I think that's a perfect one, so that we could all give you a big hug. Hope you're doing
exactly. Yes, thank you.
Getting on really well.
Yes. So let's dive into the questions, shall we?
Yes, guys. Like we said, Jordi's so sweet. Jordi says, "Via my heart for you guys, man."
So
very nice.
Heart for everyone.
I'm getting all sentimental. Ooh.
Exactly. Antonio is asking, how can I get in touch with you? Good question. Writing. This is the best way. Or telepathy. I actually tried. I have a friend who's a farmer and lives an hour and a half south of Bologna, and I don't have his phone number. I usually see him at the farmer's market. So I actually tried closing my eyes and sending him a message.
I hope that he got it.
I
that
hope
he
so
got it.
too. Yeah.
At least you know
Anyways,
his heart is warm. So yes,
Yes.
guys, we're gonna go question for question. We're gonna discuss it a bit. Please feel free to comment in the comment section if you have anything to share with us. It's really interesting because it's about your experiences in your city.
Yes. So the first question is, what is the best way to get around in your city? And we're talking generally, right? Not
Yeah.
today. Clearly.
So of course, like this is a platform where we're gonna have people from all over Italy. We're gonna have people from all over Spain and France too. Your teachers consider are also international, so we don't all come from the same country, and it's really
Indeed.
interesting to see what is going to be said. So
Mhm.
Monique, what is the best way to get around in Los Angeles?
That's a very good question. Do you have any idea, Joanna, what the best way? What would you think?
I don't know. I feel a tram.
A tram, how interesting. There is actually no tram in Los Angeles.
No.
No. So, I mean, I would say I apologize to the environment, but I would say the best way to get around Los Angeles, my city, is by car.
By car.
Although I used to get around by bus, which was, it took a long time and I took advantage by reading a lot of books.
Yeah, I can imagine.
What is the best way to get around Cape Town, South Africa?
So Cape Town is extremely big. So I don't really know how to explain it to you in terms of how big it is. The city as well as the neighborhoods that are surrounding the city. So for us, what seems like, let me give an example. In Italy, people don't like to drive for more than 20 minutes to work. They think it's a waste of time. In South Africa, for us, it's the norm for you to drive at least an hour to work.
Yeah, so the norm, in case anyone doesn't know, the norm means like the normal way of doing things.
Yeah,
norm.
what is normality for you? So yeah, I think that the best way, if you have the privilege of having a car, or you have, definitely car, because it's too big to walk. And public transport, of course, we can't rely on that. We would have to take maybe 10 buses to get wherever we need.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Antonio is saying tube is the best way to get around in my city. Very cool. Nice usage.
From Antonio, we don't know which city.
Tube is a very English way of referring to a subway, right? In New York, for example, it's called the subway. No.
Yeah, or you could also call it the Metropolitan.
Yeah, the metro, sure. Cinzia, Bologna, best way is on foot. I agree.
Yes,
Absolutely.
that's the nice thing about the Portici, and that is why I love that city.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Can you read Sole's comment here?
Sole says, the best way to get around my city in Calabria is on foot or by car, and in Bologna, on foot.
Very nice.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
And Antonio.
He refers to, he said, the tube is the best way to get around in my city. Then he says, although I always get around in my city by car.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, if it helps you, why not?
Sometimes
I don't have a car.
Yeah, I don't have a car either. But think about drummers, right? People that play drums and have to carry their drum set. It's hard to do on the bus. So for some people, the car is important, right? Or if you have kids or something, yeah. What about the second question? Thank you, everyone, for your comments. Fantastic. What about the second question, Joanna?
Do you think the transportation system in your city is effective? What would you do to improve it? I feel like a lot of comments are going to come from people in terms of public transport in Italy. So please leave a comment about your city. I actually, funny enough, heard an interesting fact about Florence, that the bus in Florence costs like €1.50 or something. And I was like, because I was speaking to a student from Florence, and I was like, that's incredible, because from where I live in the countryside to the center of Bologna, it's like €3 one way. Wow. And I was like, that's it. I'm moving to Florence just for the bus.
Exactly. I'm sure there's at least one Maias in Florence, right? I think it's the headquarters too, right?
I think there are two in Florence.
Yeah, well, that's a good reason. I think that's great. Then you
Yeah,
save a lot of money over time.
right.
If you think about, let's say if you take 20-year period and think about how much money you would save, I think that's a very good reason, Joanna, to move. But in that case, then I might move to, I don't know, where would I move to? To pay less for the bus. It's a funny reason to move, but it's possible.
Yeah, but if you're using public transport like I do, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, look, I have my abonamento. I don't know if you can see
That's
it there.
great. I can see it. Yeah. That's cool. Because you cannot
It saves me a lot.
you can't get to Bologna by bike from where you live. It's too far.
You could, but you'd be cycling for quite some time.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
Maybe you'll
Antonio.
sweat when you get to work. Antonio says, I think the transportation system in my city is not really effective because of the strikes. The strikes on Fridays. Remember, we use strikes because it happens. It's present simple and it happens more than once.
Yeah, interesting.
wow.
Sole says, number 2, in Bologna, the transport is, probably be single there, the transport is effective until Saturday. Then I don't know where buses are. Yeah, so for anyone who doesn't live in Bologna, on the weekends, there's T-Pad, which basically the city center is closed off, which is really lovely. And I think it's lovely because then you can walk and it feels like once upon a time. It feels like maybe, I don't know, 100 years ago when there were no cars, there's people walking around and the city is closed. So good point, Sole, yes. And Antonio has a question. What does, let's say with quotation marks, abbonamento mean?
Oh, sorry, I just used the Italian word because it was so easy for me. So abbonamento would be, depending on the transport you use, it would be like a monthly bus ticket or a monthly train ticket. Of course, you can get it not for only a month, you can get it a week, or you can get it
for a year. Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Just a ticket.
In the States, we would call it a monthly bus pass.
Yeah, bus pass. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I don't have one, but actually, I think I have my week. I have this. Actually, it's funny. It's called City Pass in Bologna. So this would be like, this is not an abbonamento though. This is just a pass. Like this is good for 10 rides on the bus in Bologna. Yeah. So good question, Antonio. All right. So shall we move to? Oh, wait. What would you do to improve it?
In Cape Town, we have like 6 trains, maybe, if they're not
like subway trains.
Yeah, we not just like trains. We don't have more than that. At the moment, there are probably 3 trains because people have probably striked and burnt one of them.
Okay.
Yeah, people get a little bit rowdy there in Cape Town sometimes.
Interesting.
So I'd probably introduce more of an effective public transport system that doesn't cut off at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, because a lot of people need to still travel home from work and they finish maybe 6 or 7.
Interesting.
And I would introduce a much more effective train system in terms of having more trains, probably a lot newer and more safe.
Interesting. Yeah, in Los Angeles, there's actually they invented a metro, like they created a metro subway system that had never been there. And it was about, I would say 10 or 15 years ago. So that was a very big change for the city of Los Angeles, especially for people living outside the center that now could get to the city with a train instead of with a car, because one of the biggest issues in Los Angeles is the traffic, because you have freeways. So the highways are free in Los Angeles, which is why, maybe in the entire state of California, which is why they're called freeways and not highways, right? Yeah. They're free. And there's about 6 lanes. So lanes are where you drive between the lines. So on the freeway, there's 6 lanes going, 6 lanes coming. So you have 12 lanes. So you can imagine this huge highway. And then basically, sometimes there's traffic that's back to back and you can't move. So the traffic is a big issue, which is why the creation in Los Angeles of the metro was a really, really good thing, it was a real big improvement, I would say.
Yeah, imagine.
Oh, look at Antonio would like to move to. Remember, Antonio, the preposition to. That is my favorite preposition. Is it yours too, Joanna? Your favorite preposition? Because
Yes,
whenever there's
definitely.
movement or travel, you use to. So move to Bologna for making lesson with you and Kendra at Maya School. That's fantastic, Antonio. So Joanna will move to Florence because the bus costs less. You'll move to Bologna for the Maya's Bologna. Fantastic. And I'll move to Cape Town.
For what reason? For our train?
Just because. Oh, Antonio went forward. Let's read question 3. Have you ever used a car sharing service? What was your experience like?
I have never. So I'm out of this question. Have you?
Yes, I have. I used a car sharing service in Padua.
Little blah car.
No, BlaBlaCar is different, I think, than I guess car sharing could be BlaBlaCar. I was thinking more where you like
You rent a car like on the street.
Yeah, exactly. Like Mobike like I can't remember what it's called in Bologna, but I used a car sharing service in Padua. Yeah, in Padua, and my experience was okay, but it was very expensive. That's all I can.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Very expensive. Yeah, it was very expensive, and it was very. There were a lot of rules, and also you had to go to a specific place to pick it up, so it was not very practical. But it was fine. Let's see Antonio's experience.
Antonio says, "I've used car sharing services before. I usually use car sharing service when I move to another city." Understandable.
Yeah.
I'd use the public transport. I'd use the bus.
Really? You use the bus to move?
Yeah, of course.
Wow, that's intense. Good morning, Maura. Hello, Maura, who is a student of ours who makes these lovely designs and hats.
Yeah.
Art for Maura. We also have Cinzia and Sole, so we're a nice group from Bologna today. That's fantastic. Or students from Bologna Mille. It's nice to see you. Welcome, Maura. We hope you are doing well. We are talking about transportation and getting around. Joanna, would you like to read question 4?
Mm-hmm. What do you usually do to keep yourself entertained while riding a bus or train?
Very good question. Very good question. I can tell you when I lived in Los Angeles and took the bus, I would read to keep myself entertained. And I worked at a metaphysical bookshop at the time. So I could keep getting new books to read.
Yeah.
It was really cool, actually.
I can't do that. I do 2 things. I listen to music or I sleep.
Really? You're not afraid of missing your stop?
No, because I'm a light sleeper on the bus. But it's because I get like bus sick, sort of like car sick, very, very quickly. So yeah, I don't like to be in that predicament where I want to get sick on the bus. So I rather close my eyes.
That makes sense. I'm sort of afraid to fall asleep on the bus because when I fall asleep easily and I can easily miss my stop. So Sole is saying, I used car sharing with my friend to do shopping at the grocery store. Okay. Or you could say to do grocery shopping.
Yeah.
Contract it. But yeah, that's a good reason. Exactly. If you don't have a car, it can be very handy to use car sharing for sure.
Especially if you have a driver's license, I mean, use it because you could get a lot more done than using a bicycle.
What's that?
If you have the driver's license, you could use that in terms of not using a bicycle, for example, if you have like a monthly or weekly grocery list.
Exactly. Do you have a driver's license?
No.
No, I can show mine. I guess I should cover up some part of it, but I can show this. I don't know. Can you see that?
Look at Monique with her curly hair.
Exactly. It's a California, if anyone's wondering how to say it. I can barely
see your fingers now.
Oh, okay. It's a California driver's license, which I've had since I was 16. It's a long time.
It is a long time. Can you still drive?
Oh, absolutely. I can definitely drive. Yeah. I like to drive, actually. I mean, really, in Los Angeles, that's one of the big events in your life as a kid is getting a driver's kid. I mean, when you turn 16, you can legally get a driver's license. So it's a huge thing. Like, that's like, because it's such a car city, it's like, yes, I can drive though. Yeah. I drive sometimes in Italy. It depends. I don't have a car though, so not a lot. Okay. What is Antonio saying? Can you read his comment?
Antonio says, I keep myself entertained by reading a book, listening to music, and watching movies. But most of all, I love talking with other passengers.
Oh, that's so nice, Antonio. That is so friendly and uncommon.
I'm going to be 100% honest. I don't like it when people talk to me on the train.
Oh, really?
I like it, yeah, but I don't like to spark conversation.
I would say this, it depends, because if you're on a very long bus ride, for example, once I took a bus like from Santiago to Temuco in Chile, which was a long bus ride, I ended up talking to the guy next to me and we had a really nice conversation. But it was a long bus ride. So I think it depends too how long you're on the bus.
Yeah, of course. I took a bus from Stuttgart in Germany to Bologna, and which is like, depending, it can be 10 to 12 hours.
Wow.
And I met a guy from Australia who I have on Facebook, an older gentleman.
Cool.
He's such awesome words of wisdom and asking me so much and telling me all about Australia. That was fine. But if I have like a 20-minute train, I prefer not to speak.
Sure. Yeah. Sole is saying, I keep myself entertained, ED, by listening to music, and that's all because of car sick, bus sick, and everything sick. Okay. So when it's a noun, Sole, you would say car sickness, because of car sickness. But the adjective is I get car sick. So again, we see get. I'll write these down and hope you can see them. I get car. Again, we have the word get, right? Sorry, I have just a piece of paper, but can you see this okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I get car sick, but I have car sickness. Yeah. But okay, listening to music is great though. Also, if you have headphones on like I do now, you avoid people talking to you.
Or I have like a very, very ugly face when I'm on the bus, and my face already says, don't speak to me.
That's really funny.
And not that I want to, it's just in those 20 minutes, that is like for you when you say you don't want to sleep on the bus because you don't want to miss your stop. Those 20 minutes when I don't want to speak, it's because I'm looking for a stop.
Yeah, you're getting zen there, right?
Yeah.
Cinzia, on the train, I love to read a book. Very cool.
Yeah.
I love reading.
The train is better to read. For me, the train is fine. I don't get sick, but the bus, I can't.
No, I can read in both. I mean, I guess I prefer the train to read. It is a bit more comfortable. Yeah. Fabulous. Oh, wait, let me get my harmonica. Should we make a sound to move next to the next one?
Yes. 1, 2, 3. That sounded so amazing.
That worked really well, yeah.
All right, guys. So over here we have a list of transportation verbs. So we have to catch, to take, to get in, to get on, to get out, and to get off. We're going to put them in the category immediately, and then Monique is going to explain a little bit more.
Yeah, well, what we'd like you to do is try to use these phrasal verbs in sentences, right? Phrasal verbs, as we said, verb plus preposition, and when the preposition is there, it can change the meaning of the verb. So these different verbs we see are in the different categories. Speaking with Joanna earlier, these can often be used in many different ways, right? So that's why instead of having you put them specifically there, we would rather have you try to use these phrasal verbs in examples of your own, right? So Antonio, if I meet Joanna on the train, I won't talk with her. Okay, very nice, good. She might have headphones on anyway, so
you can wave at me, you can smile. I will smile back.
Okay, very nice. So Joanna, why don't we read through these just to listen to, hear them, and just some pronunciation too. So bus, to catch, to take, to get on, to get off.
Train, to catch, on, to get off.
car or taxi, to take, to get in, to get out.
And motorcycle, to take, to get on, and to off. So what
Yes,
is
so
interesting to see? You can explain if you'd like to.
sure. Hi, Diomira. Welcome. It's nice to see you. It's nice to meet you. I'm Monique from Hollywood, and this is Joanna from
Cape Town.
Cape Town, South Africa, which is in the Western Cape. I have learned this thanks to Joanna. So, Diomira, we're inviting everyone to use these phrasal verbs in sentences, so in example sentences. So, to catch, for example, not a phrasal verb, but it means to catch. The ones from Bologna know that I love baseball, so to catch. And catch, generally, to catch the bus, catch the train. To me, I'm not sure about you, Joanna, but it gives me a sense of you're running to catch the train, right? Like if you're running late, you're running to catch.
Exactly.
No?
Or you use it. I like to say this one, for example, I need to catch the bus, which means, bye, Monique, I'm a little bit in a rush. I need to leave you now because I need to get the bus.
Sure, exactly. So give us some examples. Let's see. Can we think of some examples? I get on the bus when it stops. And then I get off the bus when I get off the bus when I reach my destination. I ding the little buzzer, the bell, and I say, goodbye, everybody. I say goodbye to everyone on the bus.
You really do?
No, I don't, but I could.
I think.
Can you think of an example?
We could say goodbye, everybody on the bus. I say for an act of kindness, we could say goodbye to everybody on the bus.
Exactly. Okay, Diomira says to catch, to take a bus, a train. Okay. Antonio, Diomira, try to use a complete sentence, right? To get in means enter a vehicle. Exactly. So you get in. You get into a car. Good point, Antonio. Yeah, you don't get in the bus or in the train. To get in is usually a personal vehicle. So you get in the car. Usually it's also a vehicle where there's one person. For example, in Los Angeles, most cars have only one person. In fact, that's why there's a carpool lane on the freeway. I don't know if you have this in Cape Town, but in Los Angeles on the freeway, if you are more than one person in a car, you can go to the fast lane. It's the diamond lane, basically, and you go faster because you have more than one person in the car. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
We don't have that.
Yes, that's okay. Do you have traffic in Cape Town?
Do we have
Traffic.
Yeah, we have a lot of traffic, but we of course have the lanes that are divided between the fast lane and then you are required to go a certain pace or speed in specific lanes. But no, we don't have carpooling.
Yeah,
I think it's very American, which is okay.
Yeah, that's yeah. Antonio, to get in means enter a vehicle. Yes, he said. To get off means exit or leave a vehicle. Exactly. Usually a bigger vehicle. To get off would be like a train. Or get off a train, get off a bus. Yeah. You wouldn't get off the car. You would get out. Because with a car, again, it's a small. Yeah, exactly. Personal vehicle. Yeah.
Think of a box. You get in the box, you get out of the box. It's
exactly. So it's like, yeah, personal. Shall we move forward, Joanna? What do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, lovely. Unless there's any questions.
Harmonica again.
Oh, yes, good call. Thank you. Ready.
1, 2, 3. Thank you very much.
Lovely.
Right, guys. On this side, we have the gapful. So we have to catch, to take on, to get out, get off, to pick up, to drop off. Here we have 2 new phrasal verbs. We're not going to explain what it's the last 2. What we would like you to do is to fill in the gaps for each paragraph.
Right.
So Monique and I will be reading. We will leave the blank space open and please to answer it in the comment section.
Yeah, maybe number them too. So
Yeah.
shall I read the first paragraph?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so you'll hear the harmonica, which is the gaps to fill in. So the best way to get to the airport from here is to the bus. If the number 23, it will take you to the airport. It will in front of the train station and just outside the airport. You need to, at the stop called terminal, you can buy a ticket from the driver after you. Okay, so Sole is already suggesting take for number 1. The best way to get to the airport from here is to take the bus. That sounds good. What do you think? Go ahead.
It is. I gave you the answer.
Okay.
No, blow it.
Okay.
No,
Sorry. So to take or to catch the bus, I personally would say take, not catch.
I would catch the train but take the bus.
So good one, Sole, Antonio. Very nice. What about number 2? If you the number 23,
it will
number
take
2. Like the people mover, you know, the one in Bologna that they've been building for a long time, the train.
Has it even started yet?
Not officially, but you see, they keep doing the trial runs.
Yeah, I think it's a waste because it's like really, really expensive.
Right.
I mean, the bus already to Bologna's airport costs like €7. The people mover is more expensive.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Let's see. Sole says to get on. If you get on the number 23, that could be a possibility. If you get on the number 23.
Antonio says
Remember, Antonio, with a bus is big and it's not a personal thing. So you wouldn't necessarily get in. Get in is more like the box example Joanna used. You get in, so get into the car.
So let's check. Are you ready for your moniker? 1,
I am.
2, 3.
Yeah. So here it says if you take or catch the number 23, but I think Sole's suggestion, if you get on the number 23, is excellent.
Yeah,
I would absolutely use that as well.
Both of yours to get on and to catch or take basically means to I don't know how to explain, to go to the airport with the bus or by bus.
Yeah. It will in front of the train station. It will Let us know, because we only have 2 minutes. We just have 2 minutes left, so we want to try to get through the first paragraph.
Yeah, at least the first paragraph, and let's get through it together. It will pick. Let's see. Are you ready, Monique? 1.
I am.
Yes, Sole, good job.
Very
It will pick you up in front of the train station and.
So pick up, like you pick this
number
up.
4.
Pick up, and I'll give you a hint. This.
Exactly.
So it will pick you up, and let's reveal it anyway. So 3, 2, 1.
Yeah,
good job. Excellent.
So you use that when someone fetches you and someone brings you to another place. We say pick up and drop off.
In fact, I think Maura also often says she has to get her son. So you pick up your son after school, for example, to pick up a person when you drive and pick them up. Okay, last 2. You need to something at the stop called terminal. What do you need to do at the stop called terminal?
Yeah, think of the past. Remember? So should we give them the answer?
Sure.
1, 2,
3. Good. Sole Antonio, yes. Get off. And the last one, oh, okay. Diomira. In my country, the best way we use to get to the airport is to take the bus. Okay, take the bus or by bus. Good. And the last one of this first paragraph, Antonio is saying, get out. You can buy a ticket from the driver after you get out.
No,
but
why
remember,
would I buy a ticket after I leave?
remember the bus. Let's hear. Let's try it together, Shona. 3, 2, 1.
After I get on the bus. Remember when we
Right.
enter the bus, we usually buy the bus ticket from the driver. So once
Right. So
we
yes, this is a contextual thing. It's context. In Bologna, usually you buy the ticket beforehand, but in many cities you walk up and then you get the ticket when you get on the bus. But okay, let's say goodbye to everyone and thank you. Monique, you have a beautiful mug of Pantone. Okay, thank you, Maura, to take catch. So it's been wonderful. Thank you very much. We wish you a wonderful start to your week. Thank you for spending the time with us here. We look forward to seeing you again very soon.
yes.
Thank
and
you.
Remember that
Thank
in 10 minutes there will be another webinar for your
Yes, indeed.
yeah.
So
stay
thank
tuned.
you. Bye, Sole. Bye, Cinzia. Have a fantastic day, everyone. Bye-bye.